Hello, we are going live today. I am super excited about my guest. We're going to wait for her to show up here. Hope everybody's having an amazing, amazing day. Today, we are going to talk about launching your own business. And my guest who's going to join us launched super, super fast. And we're going to learn how she did that. So let's bring on Ashley. Adding, this is a good sign. Adding Ashley in right now. All right, fantastic. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Look how easy this was. All right, welcome to
Yes.
the Business Squad. It's exciting to have you here. I know everybody's excited to hear what you have to share. I've had people reaching out already. They're like, tell me more. Like, how'd she do it? So this is cool.
Yes, I'm
So
excited. I'm excited to be here and share my story a little bit.
exactly, cool. So tell them like who you are and kind of what you do.
Yeah, I am Ashley Bannemer. I am a proud boy mama and a business owner, which is so fun to be able to say now.
Yay!
So I started my virtual assistant company about a year ago, but I kind of more so chalk it up to I started in January because when I started a year ago, I was pregnant and then I was postpartum, so I didn't really do anything with it until January of this year, and it took off. So it's so exciting. What we do at the Bannemer Agency is we're virtual assistants, so we help business owners, with their tasks that might be bogging them down, and help generate leads for them. So anywhere from social media to bookkeeping to your administrative tasks.
Yep. Cool. So I feel like you've only been doing this for like 3 months, but
Yeah.
obviously some time beforehand that you were kind of building up. And then it seems like in the last 3 months, it just like boomed like crazy. And like we would
Yes.
talk and we were kind of making a 6-month plan and doing some marketing ideas. And then we get together again the next week and it's like no more 6 months,
Yeah.
right? Like we are here. So tell us kind of the last 3 months, like what has happened. I know you and I met, we just talked on the phone, right? Which I totally admire about you. Like you will get on the phone or Zoom with anybody. Like I think that that's one of your strengths for sure. And then you started doing a few lead posts, I think a couple months ago. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I originally didn't think I wanted to do any marketing because I don't know if I didn't have the confidence in it in the
Yep.
moment. But I talked with you and you're like, you need to do some marketing. So I pushed like 4 posts out and it went off. It blew up from there. So I did a couple lead posts, just asking some different questions in different Facebook groups to kind of feel out who is my target market, like who did I want to be targeting my marketing towards. And once I kind of figured that out, I put 3 or 4 posts out on my Instagram and Facebook pages, and it went from there. So just so crazy how little social media, if you just do it, it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. And super authentic, right? And I think what you said
Yes.
is really interesting is you're like, I didn't want to do that marketing. Like it was like this weird thing, right? But now like it's super natural and just a little bit of it, super authentic,
Right.
and it really, really blew up and really happened. So I think, like I said, one of the good things, like you would get on calls with anybody that would want to have a conversation, right? And so you were at a training. You went to a free training that I had. It was an hour long. I have another one this afternoon. There's my plug if anybody wants to go to this training this afternoon at 3:30. But you went to that training and showed up, and you got on the phone with the people that were there, right? Because it's small. There's like 5 to 10 people,
Yep.
and you got a client right there, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So you just don't know where they come from. So tell me,
Right.
like, what you went from working, right? Like, and you wanted to replace your salary so that you could be at home. Tell me a little bit more about like how that's kind of rolled out, what you've been able to do, any recommendations that you would have for somebody that is in that same position. They're like, man, I'm doing this job, but I really need to be at home with my kids, or I need to be doing something different. Like, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say go for
Yeah.
it. I mean, I'm 26 years old, so I have a long ways to my retirement.
Yeah.
So I knew the minute I had my son that I wanted to be home with him.
Yep.
And he's had some illnesses with ear infections and everything that makes me, when I was at work and he was homesick, either with his dad or with a family member that we would have to have, or, you know, even sending them to daycare sick, it just made me feel horrible.
Yeah.
And then I didn't love what I was doing either. So I just took the plunge. I just decided I'm not going to be the person that I just say what I wish I was doing, or, oh, I want to do this, and then never go out and do it. I feel like most people will say they want to do something and they just never do it. And I decided to just go out and do it. And I think no matter what age you're at, whether you're young and you have never really even been in the workforce
Right.
that long, or you're older and you're close to retirement, why not just go out and do it? And it could be the best decision of your life.
Right. And you know, the other thing I think that you were super intentional about, it isn't all black and white, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you said, okay, I'm going to do this, and we kind of had a timeline, and you wanted to have some revenue coming in before you just quit because you have responsibilities and a mortgage, right, and all the things. And so you're like, I'm going to just start bringing clients on. And I remember it was tough for you. You're like, man,
Yes.
you're working full time, and you've got a kiddo at home, and then you're trying to get your client work done, and you're bringing on these clients, and which is harder when you first bring them in. And
Yes.
so you had the whole thing going. And so you're like, man, and then, but it enabled you to like, okay, I'm going to go
Yep.
part-time, right? Okay. Like we're thinking, okay, part-time for 6 months, whatever. Nope. Then we're part-time for 2 weeks, right? And then because the clients come
Yeah.
in. Love the fact that it wasn't like you just decided today I'm going to have a job and tomorrow I'm going to be an entrepreneur. It was like this gradient kind of building
Right.
your entrepreneurial job before you quit your other one. And I love the
Right.
fact that you did that. And I think people get hung up on that. Any recommendations on that, or thoughts, suggestions?
Yeah. I would say, you know, it, it's practical to do that.
Yeah.
Unless you have the money where you can just say, today I have a job and tomorrow I'm not going to, I'm just going to go for this, then do that. But most people need income coming in.
Right.
So I knew that I needed to somehow work it out where I can supplement my income as I'm growing. It was a lot of long hours. I mean, I got up at 4 in the morning and worked, and then got my kid to daycare. I worked 8 to 5, and then came home, had family time, and was up till 10, 11 every
Right.
night working. So yeah, it was long hours, but it was long hours for 5 months, and now I'm
Yeah.
full time doing this. So it was so worth it. And I think if you think that you don't have time, my biggest thing is maybe check your screen time and see how much time you're spending scrolling, because you don't realize how much time that's taking up. And I know that was something that I had to do too. I'm in the generation where it's really easy to hop on TikTok for 2 hours and, oh, I just don't have time to do this, but you actually do. Just make the time.
Right.
You might have to be tired for a while.
You know, it's not forever,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything that like the last few months has really made you just go all, like made it like really bring in more revenue? Like it seems like in the last few months, like it's just boomed. Is there anything you would attribute that to?
Um, I think my marketing, I would
Okay.
attribute that to. So I had just been kind of posting whatever, and then I sat down and I said, you know, I make marketing plans and strategies for my clients.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this for
Right.
me. So I made a marketing plan and I pushed posts out, and I was doing all the follow-ups and taking any meeting, even if it was someone that said, you know, you have these services and I kind of fall in this line, but not fully. Like, can we talk? It was always a yes. I didn't say no to
Right.
any sort of
Yeah.
meeting. So,
Yeah. And that's a great lead into one of the other things that I think you have huge strength in that is an absolute weakness out there, for some reason, but you're very, very good at it. You are very open-minded about how you serve people and what you can do. And I remember a day you came to me and you had this list of things like, these are all the things I can do to help, right? And it's like, I think of it almost as are those on the sides? Those um, when they on bowling. What
Oh,
do they put down the side?
bumpers.
Bumpers. So it's
Yeah.
almost like having bumpers, right? So we want to put bumpers on the bowling lane, and so we bowl. Right? I don't know. I'm a bowler. I don't know if you guys, but and don't let me have bumpers. But so you roll the ball. These bumpers are going to push it in, but it's going to eventually hit the middle. And so I think some people feel like they can only hit the center, right? Like they can only hit the center to get a strike. And really, we need them bumpers. And I think you did that very well. You're like, this is who I serve, but we're not going to be so fine-tuned that we can't serve anybody else. And I think what I see out there that you did not do, you did very well. But what I see in other people is they want to dwindle that client down so tight to make sure it's their absolute perfect situation, and that they get to the point where they don't have any business.
Right.
They kind of forget like who's here to serve who. And so you've been you've taken on some challenging cases, and I know you'll give me an update, not on the call, but here, but taking on some things that are a little bit not on the center line, but a little bit off. And any suggestions on that? And then also just your service model of like how you're there to help and serve. Anything you can share about that?
Yeah, I think my suggestion, if anyone's thinking about doing their own business in any way, is keep an open mind, especially if you're working with people. If you're working with other people, you have to meet them halfway as much as you want them to meet you halfway.
Yep.
So just hearing them out, I mean, it can be a no, but why not just hear them out and hear what they have to say, so that it may not have to be a full no. It can be
Yeah.
we might have to do something a little bit different, but we can still get that same end result that the client's wanting. And then what was the other part of your question? Sorry.
Client service, like how do you make sure you're doing really good service? And plus you bringing on more staff now, right? You're starting to hire because you have so many clients coming in that you need staff under you to help. So how do you instill in them client service?
Yeah. So service wise, I've always been someone that's had a very A-type personality. I like things on my end really well done. So while bringing in people, every person that I've brought in so far, I personally know, or if I don't know them, we have very intense conversations beforehand about what is your background, what are your qualifications, tell me about some of your client responses that you've gotten. And then I also ask them, tell me where you struggle. And I want to know the struggle part of my subcontractors so I can help pick up that slack so that our services aren't lacking, because getting the best results out to my clients is what I want and what we expect here at the Bannerman Agency. It won't be oh crap, like this isn't going to be halfway done right. It will always be like the best we can do for you. So
Yeah. Cool. No, that's great. And it's just instilling that. And what I hear you like hiring first,
yeah.
right? Hiring well, I know
Yeah.
really, really well. And then also what, meeting the client halfway. I hear you say that, like just having that conversation, and we all want the same thing, right? We all want to run
Right.
really good. So to listen to what they need and
Yeah.
kind of, they need.
I always say to my clients too is their goals end up being my goals.
Mhm.
So if they have this goal of, maybe it's a revenue goal of hitting 100,000, well, then let's talk about how we can do that. Or if it's we want to hire on another crew for next summer during our busy season. Okay, well, let's get you there. It may not be the straight path that they want, but we can maybe curve it a little bit and get you there. But my clients' goals end up being ours because we want them to succeed as much as we want everyone else to succeed too.
Yeah. Cool. And let's chat about your competitive advantage. You
Yes.
hire here in the United States.
Yes.
And it's definitely your competitive advantage. And I think the thing I want to point out to people more that are like looking at going into the industry, you're not undercutting on price by any means. Like you probably charge a little more. You definitely premium elite service. So if you are out there and you're looking at hiring a VA service, just know that the Ashley's program is, it's premium elite. Like you're not just getting somebody that's not gonna be able to speak English, right? Like, to be honest. And so you're about who you hire. You charge accordingly. And so tell me a little bit about like how you help clients exactly. Like what's that competitive advantage that you provide? When people come to you, where are they at? Like what things can you kind of help them with?
Yeah, so my team is all based in the Midwest. So we have a bunch of different range of what our services are. We have professional bookkeepers to professional people that have a lot of certifications within social media rules, along like the insurance rules is one of them. So how we like to break it down is there's two different packages because we do help a lot of startup businesses or people that may not have a ton of funds to afford expert level services, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to get them. You should be able to have them. It's just that you don't have the funds right now. So let's get you there. So we offer two different packages for all of our services. One, we have the basic package, and then we have our expert package. So the basic one is just a little bit simpler of a package rather than going full expert level. So a great example is our social media package, where if you would go with the basic, it would be us helping create the content, putting the content out there for you, and just kind of scheduling out posts. The expert level of that is then adding in engagement and strategy and putting out, okay, the month of July, we really need to be pushing this because that will help your sales for this
Yep.
in the future. And then doing your engagement as well. So responding to any comments, adding people for friends on Facebook, answering any DMs, going into any CRM system that you have that's pulling. Good example is if you're a real estate agent, like your Zillow leads, or if you're an outdoor service, any Facebook leads that you have coming in. We'll help respond to all those and push those leads so that you're getting out more quotes, you're getting new clients, and just generating those leads for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Know how well that system works. And so
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah, you're benefiting from
Oh my
it.
goodness, you do that for me. Cool. Anything else you would want to tell? Maybe we'll start with anybody else. Anything you'd want to tell somebody that's listening right now that's like, I'm ready to make a move. I'm not exactly sure what I should be doing, but I know I'm called to have a bigger impact. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, if you're thinking about potentially either even going into a role like this or hiring someone like this, you can always book a free discovery call with me, and we can just talk. If you don't know what part of your business that you may need help in, we can discover that and figure out the different paths of growth that you're looking to go down. If you're also, looking for a career in this field, I have no problem helping you walk down that path either and figuring out, where you might be a good fit within the Bannermer agency as well.
Cool. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to?
I don't think so. I'm excited, and like I said, every client we have, we truly care about what you're doing, and your goals will become our goals, and as much as you want to grow, we're going to help you get there. So we're here to help is what I always say, and if it's something you don't know, if it's you can pass it over to anyone, like let us know, book a free discovery call with me and we'll talk about it and we'll get you there. So
Fantastic. Well, it's been awesome having you in my coaching program. And every week we get to talk, and it's super fantastic. On Thursday, we've got a really good training
yes.
up. I've been working on that, just on mindset and blowing it out of the water. You're well on your way, which is exciting. So cool. Well, if we get any questions in the chats, we'll definitely respond to them. And Ashley will go ahead and post her contact information there, probably as book a call so that you can definitely contact her.
Yes.
And she loves people, and that's how she's built her business. And so feel free to reach out to her or let me know if I can do anything to help you. So fantastic being on. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.